Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time to jump into another announcement video. This time it is 88 Films doing their usual where they drop a bunch load of announcements and then leave us to just get super excited about it. Months of waiting. Let's dive in, have a look at what they have upcoming. Now, we already knew about the April bundle, but I just thought I'd bring it up again, just so we can see what's coming. Can't wait for Ark of the Sun God. Probably going to pick up all of these except the Pete Walker one, because I don't really know too much about that. Then on to May's releases, where we're going to start. So we have Burial Ground, which is something they've already released in the Italian collection. It's one that I've never got around to, so it's 4K. It's the Italian collection. I'm looking forward to checking that out. We've got Chuck Norris in The Code of Silence. We've got Christopher Lee in a Jess Franco, The Bloody Judge. And we have Herman Yao and Anthony Wong teaming up yet again for The Untold Story. Now, had a quick look at Amazon. We've got some extras for Burial Ground. So we've got a 4K restoration from the best surviving elements, 35mm blow up to interpositive. We've got 2.0 English mono, 2.0 Italian mono with English subtitles, commentary by Nathaniel Thompson, Troy Howarth, and Eugenio Ercolani, archival commentary with Callum Waddle and John Martin, return to the Burial Ground interview with Peter Bark at the Villa Parisi, the Borders of the Extreme, an interview with Eugenio Ercolani, Zombie and Melodies, interview with Pier Paolo De Sanctis, What the Fuck, the Films of Andre Bianchi, interview with critic Michael Coven, 35mm blow-up print grindhouse version, deleted scenes, trims, trailer, and Italian credit sequence. So, yeah, looks pretty great. It's got a 3.1 sitting on Letterboxd at the moment. Look at this. Wow. Doesn't it just, yeah. Looks all kind of fantastic. Code of Silence. Eddie Cusack's a good cop having a very bad day. A Chicago cop is caught in the middle of a gang war while his own comrades shun him because he wants to take an irresponsible cop down. Norris films can be hit and miss for me, so I'm relying on you lovely people out there to tell me all about this one. The covers, it's kind of generic direct-to-video kind of thing, but that's probably what the movie was, so yeah. The Bloody Judge, Jess Franco film starring Christopher Lee. I'm not sure about this one at all. Christopher Lee plays Lord George Jeffreys, the infamous and merciless judge and Lord Chancellor in England, torn by strife between the reigning King James II and William of Orange. Convicted of doing what's necessary, the cruel judge mercilessly persecutes traitors who sympathise with the king's opponent, William of Orange, as well as witches who are accused of being in league with the devil. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. It's got a 2.6 rating, which, there's some 1 stars, 2.5. Jess Franco, please, if you know anything, tell me more about this. I've got to have this. I loved Ebola Syndrome. I've heard about this one for the longest while. Yeah, really want to check it out. In 1978 in Hong Kong, a grisly murder takes place. 8 years later, on Macau Beach, kids discovered the severed hands of a fresh victim. A squadron of coarse, happy-go-lucky cops investigates, and suspicion falls on Wong Chi-hang, the new owner of the Eight Immortals restaurant, which serves delicious pork bao. The hands belong to the missing mother of the restaurant's former owner. He and his family have disappeared. Yeah, I don't need to know any more. It's a deluxe edition, so it's probably going to be a hard box, some wonderful extras. I'm picking this up the moment I can. It just looks phenomenal. And next up, we have June's listings. So we have Zombie Holocaust in 4K, which I love that film. It's another reissue from the Italian collection. We have something called Magic Cop, which I've never heard of. We have another box set called Fight Back to School 1 to 3. Again, never heard of that. Taxi Hunter, I've heard of before, but I haven't seen. And Jackie Chan and Twin Dragons, which again rings a bell, but I suppose we'll find out more as we dive into it. So let's just dive into Fight Back to School Trilogy, the deluxe edition, which is up on Amazon just now for £40, which seems like a fairly decent price. Before he wowed the world with Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, Stephen Chow was Hong Kong's best kept and funniest secret, and the Fight Back to School trilogy sees him at his hilarious best. Here, he's Star Chow, the toughest cop in the force, until some overzealous police work takes his career in a different direction. He's sent undercover at a school where he finds there are worse things than battling triads like homework, maths tests, and falling in love with your teacher. And once he's solved that case, he's back undercover in the sequels, demonstrating that he should have paid more attention in his lessons. This is the first time all three films have been released together on Blu-ray, and 88 Films are thrilled to present the world premiere of this classic trilogy of Cantonese comedy. So there's some stats there on the films, not really any listing of extras. Again, we've got Frank Jeng on all three of these films. I don't really know a thing about them. First one, 91. It's got a 3.5. Yes. 2 is a 3.3, and 3 is sitting at a 3.1. So they're fairly well represented in scores, I suppose. 91, 92, 93. I'm interested. I do like their box sets. I love Tiger Cage. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. We've got Stephen Chow in all three, so I'm assuming it's the same character, which will be a nice change of pace for that. So we've also got Taxi Hunter here, which I had heard of before. We have Anthony Wong, again, as a hard-working insurance salesman with a very pregnant wife. When his wife starts hemorrhaging, he calls a taxi, but it leaves when someone else offers more money. After his wife dies, Kin vows to get revenge on all taxi drivers by taking them out one at a time. Oh my goodness, that sounds awesome. And it's directed by Herman Yao as well, the same year they did The Untold Story. Yeah, I hadn't heard this one. That one completely, I thought I had. New to me. That sounds awesome. I want to get myself some of that. It definitely sounds like fun. Twin Dragons. Twins separated at birth end up as Hong Kong gangster and a New York concert pianist. When the pianist travels to Hong Kong for a concert, the two inevitably get mistaken for each other. Ooh, I've seen movies similar to this before, and they can be grating. They can't be the best. Sometimes they can be fun. Directed by Choi Hark and Ringo Lam. That's a pedigree of filmmakers who can sometimes do absolutely tremendous stuff and sometimes do some absolutely abysmal stuff as well. So Twin Dragons could be a possible interesting one. Now, for the completely unknown one here, Magic Cop. He's a modern day devil hunter. He's a master of the martial arts. He's Mr. Vampire. A former cop who's also a Taoist is called to Hong Kong to help him investigate a series of strange crime-related murders. Aided by two local cops, he runs afoul of an evil sorceress. See, I don't really know too much about this. We've got a little review here, I suppose. One of the most spectacularly fantasy actioners coming out of Hong Kong that I have had the pleasure of watching. If it wasn't for the heavy focus on silly comedy, this would have been a masterpiece. Yeah, that sounds interesting enough. So I'm definitely getting Zombie Holocaust. I am definitely getting Taxi Hunter. I will definitely get Fight Back to School. Magic Cop is a strong possibility, and Twin Dragons, well, you guys can let me know about that one. From the May releases, Burial Ground, yes. The Untold Story, absolutely 100% yes. I need them. And from the April releases, which I didn't really touch on, because I covered it in a previous announcement. Tentacles, Ark of the Sun God, God of Gamblers. I want all 3 of those. I will be picking those up. Anything from the Italian collection, I've got to have it in my collection as well. What are you picking up? What did you think of these announcements? Is there anything that just blew you away? Anything that just sounds amazing that you want to check out? There are links for these up on Amazon with some pre-order prices. There'll be a link down below that you can jump on and have a look at these and see if there's anything that you want to pre-order. Of course, let me know your thoughts on all these releases in the comment box below, whether you loved them, whether you can't believe something's coming out at last, whether you're kind of meh on these. I really want to know. We can have a discussion. When we go down there, hit this video with a like because it really helps the channel. There is more content up here if you want to see more of my stuff. And in the description box below are links to the Patreon membership program, manvfilm.com. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Man v Film.